You know, my beginning, it happened a long time ago when I was about 4 years old. My grandma and grandpa had picked me up, me and my brother, and we drove up from Sacramento to Vallejo, California, and we stopped at a place called the Milk Farm. And back in the day, everybody used to go up to Tahoe, and on the way back, they'd pick Johnny and Danny up and take them back to Vallejo. We'd go back and buy Zorro outfits and play and stuff, and Grandma'd make us, pancakes and stuff, and we'd have a ball. So I got $1 from my grandpa, my brother got a bucket, and he went in and, man, he bought a big bag of candy. I bought my grandma this little cow. This little cow had a magnet on it, and she put it on her refrigerator. So we got home, she puts the cow in the refrigerator, I'm sitting over in the corner, and I looked at the book. I opened that book and it had gold letters. And I said to Grandma, what's in this book? Now back in the day, Grandma was a racist. She was a Pentecostal, speaking in tongues and all that, and she had her concordance, and my mother was Catholic, so there was a big fight over little Johnny, who's going to be Catholic or he's going to be Pentecostal and speak in tongues. But I'll tell you one thing. 50 years went by, and when Grandma died in the 90s, she was in her 90s, my dad brought me that cow. And he said, Johnny, not sure if you know this, but your grandma prayed for you every time she went to that refrigerator. No wonder I'm a Bible thumper. Now, back to the book. The last Adam comes back as the warrior. That's what this website is all about. Check him out on that white horse, surrounded by an army of angels. I'm going to be on a white pony. I'm going to be right next to him. And we're going to destroy the devil, the beast, and the false prophet, because I am a dude. And this is what the warrior, son of El, has said to say in the book of Revelation to the church. Those who are Christians and followers of Christ hear what the Spirit says. I know thy works, people. I know thy labor. I know thy patience, and how thou canst not bear them which are evil, and hast tried them which say they are apostles and are not, and have found them to be liars. Paul, you are busted, pal. Apostles in the plural, Paul. One apostle lied about Jesus for money. That was a simple one. Another apostle, Peter, denied he even knew Jesus, even though he did. That one is simple too. But Paul, you have been tried and convicted. You are guilty of lies, and many of them. Paul lied when he said, I'm a Jew. Acts 21:39. But Paul said, I am a man which am a Jew of Tarsus, a city of Cilicia, citizen of no mean city. But the son of El, coming back on a white horse in the book of Revelation, says this to another church. I know thy works. I know thy tribulation. I know thy poverty. I know the blasphemy of them that say they are Jews and are not, but they're a synagogue of Satan. Behold, I will make them a synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them come and worship before thy feet. A synagogue of Satan. You know what Google says about the definition of a synagogue? It's a building where Jewish assembly or congregation meets for religious worship. Now listen. All religions fight amongst themselves. Look at me when I was a little kid. Your grandma wanted me to be a tongue-speaking Pentecostal, and my mom said, you got to get over to the Catholic Church. So this isn't a hit on the Jews. A woman tells Jesus, listen to this. She said, listen, thus saith the woman of Samaria unto him, how is it that thou being a Jew askest a drinketh of me, which am a woman of Samaria? For the Jews have no dealings with the Samaritans. A Samaritan is an inhabitant of Samaria, which was the capital of the Hebrew northern kingdom, and those who called kiss the calf and the follower of Moses. The first 5 books call them Israelis. Call the Jews Jews. The point is is that the descendants of Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel, are called Israelites. Paul was not a Jew. 1 Kings 12:21 says, "And when Rehoboam was in Jerusalem, he assembled all the house of Judah with the tribe of Benjamin and 184,000 chosen men, which were warriors, to fight against the house of Israel, to bring the kingdom again back to son of Solomon." Look, they were fighting anyway, right? Judah and Jews are not Hebrews. Hebrews are from the tribe of Moses in the Torah. The house of David wrote the rest of the Bible. 10, 25, 30 books, who knows? Jesus was a Jew. This is all about Paul, not about the Jews. Acts 23:6, "I am a Pharisee, the son of a Pharisee. Of hope and resurrection of the dead, I am called in question." Later he says in 1 Corinthians 9:20, "And unto the Jews I became a Jew, that I might gain the Jews." Well, that's a good one. You're a Pharisee, Paul. You whacked Jesus. You called him the King of the Jews because the Torah was the Torah, and the Jews were the Jews who became the first Christians. So Paul, if you're going to tell me you're a Jew, I'm going to quote the man on the white pony. You're done, pal. You are done. This is a Bible thumper here. This is a nation of people following a guy on a white horse. It was the hatred between the Israelis and Moses and the Jews of the house of David that boiled over when the Pharisees mocked him on the cross. Revelation 2:2, "I know thy works and labor and patience, and canst not bear them that are evil." That say they're apostles. This guy's not an apostle. And the devil that was deceived was cast into the lake of fire of brimstone. He did what no one else had ever done in the flesh. The Son of God never sinned. He followed the law. He turned over the tables and represented the tables of stone called the 10 Commandments. He does not see sin. He only sees love. He does not manifest his glory and power without love, and is only light. His battle is with Satan, who stands in the temple acting as God where his throne is.